Even though the 2022 season is not yet over for the Crimson Tide, when I look ahead to the future of this program, one of the most interesting position groups that I can find is the Alabama offensive line. We're going to talk about that and more on this episode of Tide Talk Live. What is up, everybody? Welcome back into another episode of Tide Talk Live. Stacey Blackwood here, riding solo today as we take a quick look at the future of the Alabama offensive line and what that position group could look like in 2023. But before we do that, you guys know the drill. Hit that like button, hit that notification bell. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel here as we just continue to grow here on YouTube. And if you don't like YouTube, jump over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, just wherever you listen to great podcasts, you can find our show there as well. All right. Looking at this Alabama offensive line group, look, that's kind of been a position group that Alabama fans have really been fixated on over the past couple of seasons. In 2020, when Alabama went undefeated and won the national championship, it was really behind that dominant offensive line group. And the past two seasons has just not really lived up to those expectations there in Tuscaloosa. This season was much better. Last year, Bryce Young was sacked around 42 times. I think he's been sacked 10 times this season. So the pass protection under first-year position group coach Eric Wolford has been so much better here in 2022. But the physical dominance and physical presence has not been there that, from what Tide fans have been expected over the Nick Saban era. So if you look at who Alabama has recruited this cycle in particular, they're bigger bodied guys. It looks like Alabama is trying to refocus that position group to be a little more physical at the point of attack and maybe get back a little bit to that more ground and pound style of football. Look, when Tua Tagovailoa come to Alabama, it really changed the complexion of this team. Alabama went more from a physical style to a more spread out. Hit you with the deep ball, hit you with the quick passing game, just really opening the field up. And that really has an impact on everybody on the field, not just the quarterbacks and the receivers and the running backs. It changes the way you have to block up front. And I think you've seen that over the past couple of seasons and what that's done. Look, the Alabama offense has still been successful. I would argue that over the last 5 years, there hasn't been a more dominant offensive team in the country than Alabama. So it's worked. But look, when you're not dominant up front, things can happen. Negative things can happen. You saw it this year. Look, Alabama averaged a really good number in yards per carry on the ground. But if you look at it, it's really because of the big home run hits that Alabama had with Jameer Gibbs and Jace McClellan. Jalen Milroe had a couple big runs. So that really changed what the running game really looked like. There was too many negative plays, too many tackles for losses for Crimson Tide fans liking. And I think you're seeing a concentrated effort by this coaching staff to get back to more of that physical style of play. If you're looking at who Alabama has been recruiting this cycle, in the 2023 class. And look, Javion Cohen's in the portal. Tanner Bowles is in the portal. He's now committed to Kentucky. Damian George is going to on his way out. He is now in the portal. So look, the scholarship numbers are down right now. But once the signees for the class of 2023 get in, you're looking at around 12 scholarship players for next season, and that offensive line could look a lot more physically imposing than what we've been accustomed to seeing over the last couple of seasons. And I, for one, am excited about that. I think this offensive line in 2023 has a chance to be really special. There's a guy that nobody's really talked about this whole season who hasn't got to play much due to a torn pec, and that's true freshman Elijah Pritchett. He's a guy who I think maybe could have pushed for some playing time if he had not got injured in the preseason. But look, Tyler Steen did really well at left tackle. We know how, Javion Cohen and Tyler Booker was really 1A and 1B there at left guard. Then you have Seth McLaughlin at center, Emil Ekiyor at right guard, and J.C. Latham at right tackle. And look, with Cohen in the portal, Tyler Steen may not play in the bowl game. Emil Ekiyor may not play in the bowl game. So you're looking at three spots along the offensive line that are really open for competition leading up to just the bowl game, not counting what's going to happen in spring once that gets here. So the offensive line is going to be a lot of moving parts really from now until spring practice and even beyond that. into fall next year. So there is a lot to be excited about when it comes to this offensive line. Look, if I had to pick guys that are currently on the roster, not counting true freshmen that'll be coming in the spring or next summer, but if I had to, kind of project who I thought might be the starting offensive line next season for Alabama at this point, with guys that are currently on the roster, I would say J.C. Latham at left tackle, Tyler Booker at left guard, Seth McLaughlin at center. Then you're looking at maybe a Terrence Ferguson at right guard, and then right tackle Elijah Pritchett. That's just my personal opinion at this moment. Like I said, you never know what could happen with the transfer portal. You never know what could happen with one of these true freshmen that come in. Maybe they're a Tyler Booker type player, and they can come in and compete right away and earn a spot along the offensive line. So that's going to be really interesting to look at over the next few months. I am really excited about it. I think we're going to learn a little bit about what's going on with the offensive line leading up to the Sugar Bowl against Kansas State on New Year's Eve. So we have 3 weeks approximately until that matchup with the Wildcats. So there's a lot of time between now and then. And I think we may learn a little bit about the future of this offensive line in that time frame. And I'm really excited to see how that kind of plays out. Because, like I said, I think Alabama's going to look to go a little more physical than what we may have seen over the past few seasons in Tuscaloosa. And I know Alabama fans are wanting that. Look, the Alabama offense and the Alabama defense, I know they're two different sides of the ball, but they still share a certain part of the game. Look, when you practice every day against an offense that is spread out and really hits you and beats you with quickness and speed, the defense really gravitates towards that. And so you lose a little physicality on the defensive side of the ball as well, because they're all kind of connected. So I think once you see a little more physical attack from this Alabama offense, you're going to see a much more physical defense from Alabama as well. And I know that's something that Tide fans are really chomping at the bit for as well. So look, there's a lot of time between now and New Year's Eve to look at this offensive line and really this entire Alabama team and the future and what it looks like. And I'm really excited to really discuss that over the next few weeks. But I wanted to talk today about the offensive line because I think the offensive line uh, in, under Coach Wolf in year 2 is going to make a dramatic improvement. And I really wanted to get that out there on the forefront because I'm excited to see how that all plays out from now through spring practice and then on into summer and then next fall. Because look, the years fly by. It's going to be here before we know it, and I'm really excited to talk about it from now until then. But that's really going to wrap this video up. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to hear from you guys. Jump in the comment section. Tell me who you think the starting 5 is going to be next season along the offensive line. Tell me some guys that maybe I didn't mention that you would like to know about or maybe you're excited about. I would just love to interact with everybody there in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you're not already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Make sure you leave this video a huge thumbs up. And by the way, we have a brand new sponsor of the show, BetUS. Make sure you look in the description of the video for a link, and if you hit that link and sign up today and make a deposit, you will receive a 125% bonus on your first deposit. Thank you so much for doing that. Like I said, look in the description for that. We're excited to be joining and being partners with those guys at BetUS. All right, guys, that's going to wrap this video up. And until next time, roll tide.